Hi, I'm Mel, head makeup artist at Illamasqua. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use the skin base range to create a perfected skin look, and I'm very excited to be using our brand new pressed powders. And in this video I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful airbrush base, but I'm going to use the powders to not only mattify but also to add dimension to the face as well. Now before I apply any makeup I'm going to use our HYDRA Veil primer. This is actually part primer, part hydrator. Now I've scooped a small amount onto the back of my hand, and I'm just going to start in the centre of the face and then I'm going to blend out towards the outer edges. I'm just going to massage that in and then we can start to apply some makeup. Now it's time to apply our skin base foundation, and I used a 6.5 and I'm going to be teaming it with our round foundation brush. Now skin base is a very buildable formula, and if you go in and apply quite a lot it will look very heavy. So what I always like to do is build it up in pea-sized layers. So I've put a small amount onto the back of my hand, I'm putting my brush in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it in 4 spots. I've got the forehead, chin and obviously the cheeks. So once you've kind of dotted that on, you can start to use circular motions just to really blend that out. I always like to focus around the nostrils because they tend to be a little bit pink, and another key area is around the chin as well. Once you've got that basic layer on, you can then start to build the foundation more and more until you get the coverage you want. So I'm going to go back in with the product that's left on my hand and just going to go over certain areas where I do want there to be more coverage. Because skin base is a buildable formula and it does go up to a full coverage, you can even use it a little bit like a concealer. So I've got a little bit more on the back of my hand, and if I use my finger just to warm that product up, you can then even dot it onto areas where you want a little bit more coverage. So if say you've got a blemish, you can kind of pop that on with your fingers and then kind of blend around, making sure you get that coverage in that area that you want it. Now the next product I'm going to use is an absolute favourite of mine. It's the Skin Base Concealer Pen, which is another product in the Skin Base range. This is very moisturising, helps to maintain the moisture levels in the skin, but it self-sets to a matte finish. Now as you can see, this is a pen and you've got 2 ways to use this. The first way is to go directly onto the skin with the pen. Now this has a cooling tip, so this can feel really nice on the under eyes. Once you've applied that, you can then take your brush and start to blend that out again in circular motions. This is our round concealer brush, and it's almost an identical copy of the foundation brush I was using, but just smaller for concealing. So I circular motions right in that inner corner, and you can even blend it down a little bit so you get a kind of real opening of the face. The other way to use the Skin Base Concealer Pen is to apply a little bit to the back of your hand and then using a brush again, applying it to the skin that way. So Skin Base Foundation and Concealer Pen is on, and I'm now ready to set the look into place with some powder. And I'm going to be using our brand new Skin Base pressed powders. This is the first time I've used them, so it's very exciting. I'm going to be using our round cheek brush, obviously amazing for blusher, but I also like to use this for powder, highlighter and bronzer as well. I tend to like to use one brush for all my powder products. So I'm going to pop that into the Skin Base pressed powder, and then what I'm going to do is start on the forehead and I'm literally going to roll the product along. Just going to dust a little bit onto the eyes as well, just to set the foundation that we had there. And the other thing I like to do is if I've used concealer under my eyes, it's just to kind of scoop around that area with the powder as well. Now my skin is looking really perfected. I've got that matte T-zone that I want, but it's still got a really subtle glow going on around the edges of the face. I'm now going to use Dark 1, which is a colour which is darker than my skin tone, probably darker than what I'd probably need. But I'm going to use it to almost warm and contour the face a little. So again, I'm using the same brush. I'm going to make sure I shake that product. We don't want a lot of product on the brush at all because this is a deeper colour. So we want it to be super natural. So I'm starting in the temple area and I'm blending backwards and forwards. And I'm just going to go along that hairline into the hair so it looks super natural. I'm going to create a little bit of contour and a little bit of warmth. Now when it comes to the cheek, I'm going to take the brush and make sure I put that edge right into that corner on the top of the ear, and I'm going to scoop it down so I get a really nice soft contour. So I'm kind of scooping down and up. Also go along the jawline as well, and even down onto the neck as well. Now I'm going to use the same powder, and I'm going to use our blender brush, which is an eyeshadow brush. And I take a little bit of the product and I'm just going to place that into the crease of the eye and go backwards and forwards. So this adds some warmth, adds some definition on the eye area without looking like you've got a really big eye makeup look on. Just going underneath the eye as well, so we create a really nice warm halo. Once you've applied your foundation, concealer and your powder, your skin can look really kind of flat. So even though we've added a little bit of contour, we still need to add some blusher to create a little bit of warmth and health back in the skin. Now I'm going to be using a powder blusher. This is Allure, it's one of my favourites. I'm going to be using our cheek brush again. Now our blushes are very highly pigmented, so I'm popping my brush in, I'm going to give it a shake, and I'm going to take the excess off on the back of my hand. So we go in really lightly with blusher. And then when it comes to placement, you almost want to go onto the sides of the apples of the cheeks, so really close to the eye actually. And what you're going to do is like a flicking motion, just so we really blend that product in. And then with whatever's left on the brush, you can just really lightly dust over the eyes. That really just ties the whole look in together. Now I'm going to apply some lipstick to finish the look off, but before I do, I'm going to use our HYDRA setting spray. This locks your makeup into place for up to 10 hours, so it just gives the most amazing long wear, and it's really hydrating as well. Now to use this, I hold it about 30 centimeters away from my face, and I just give it a few spritz, and then I'm just going to let that settle before I apply any more makeup. So I've gone for a bit of a 90s vibe, and I've just finished the look off with some Ultra Matte in Dusk. My look is complete, and you can see that the entire Skin Base range is really all about perfected skin with a real skin finish. And I always describe this as matte but with a very soft, subtle sheen. I've used the Skin Base foundation, a concealer pen, and of course our brand new Skin Base pressed powders. These are super fine and sheer in coverage but with a velvet matte look, and they're perfect for setting your makeup, but you can also use them throughout the day as well. Now remember, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our Illamasqua YouTube channel.